The siege of Homs is not over, but these are the first people to escape in a very long time. Weary and hungry, some 80 women, children and elderly men were allowed out through the Syrian army's cordon. They had endured 600 days of siege in the old city of Homs. They fell upon the meals from the Syrian Red Crescent. Food and water is so short inside, he says. Look at me, there are only bones. The Syrian regime has pursued a policy known as surrender or starve, but the rebels too want to keep people inside besieged areas. The regime has promised to allow some aid supplies in tomorrow, but not if any goes to the rebels. This ceasefire is extremely fragile. No ceasefire in Aleppo. A rebel commander tells his men, a suicide bomber just left. The whole Islamic nation will hear him roar. The bomber was British, driving this truck packed with explosives. Abu Suleiman al-Britani, as he was known, is thought to be the first British suicide bomber in Syria. The war then continues, with no end in sight.
The Syrian regime's very slight easing of the siege of Homs might be seen as the first fruits of the UN-sponsored peace talks in Geneva. But the jihadis are not part of that dialogue, and they are doing most of the fighting now in Syria. Paul Wood, BBC News, Beirut.